We want to rush on and forward. Things became slow down and Anand to come in and we are like, but Gerald and I were very small boys when we used to talk to his granny's place. That's the history. Like some of your newer members here, I'm not familiar on this side. Anand used to come and preach, but generally, Phoenix, especially Anand Naidu. You know what Anand Naidu? We used to visit our often. So that's the history. Currently, I'm serving as the head elder for 3 years. There was nobody wanting to take a challenge. One day Anand came and preached there. He said, you must step out of the boat. Nobody is willing to step out of the boat to go. I took a challenge. And for the past 3 years, I'm still there. But anyway, it's good to be in His church. God has sent me here for a purpose. And when you leave here, you will not leave here empty. There will be something for you to take home. Right? Now, you know for a fact that God has been gracious to us from the beginning. Right? From the beginning, He has been gracious. And we came so far. Right? Am I right? We came so far, and we should be thankful. Right? We have a place to worship. Some people don't even have a place to worship. Some people have to pay for worship. We have a privilege to worship. Because you know why? His mercies are new every morning. You see, now this morning, when you came to drink from the fountain, right? Right. Now you know the fountain is a never-flowing fountain. Right? Who is the fountain? Jesus. Right, Jesus is the fountain. So we are drinking from the fountain. Remember the words that Jesus spoke? The water that I give it to you will be a well of springing into everlasting life. So when you are drinking from the fountain, you are drinking for everlasting life. Right. Now, during the lesson study, I was talking about a journey with God. You also have a journey with God. Did you know that? This time, Anand spoke about the journey of God. So I want to inform you that in this journey that you have with God is a journey of a lifetime. Right? So wherever you are sitting in, remember that this journey is a lifetime journey. Right? And a lifetime journey with God is worth a lifetime. Right? So, because in this lifetime, you only have one anchor. There will be no other anchors. You only have one anchor. So, until you have this anchor, hold on to this anchor. Hold on to this anchor until this controversy is over. Right? So, I want to inform you, before you leave this sanctuary, there will be something for you to take home. There will be something for you to take home. Right? There will be something to motivate you, something for you to cherish, and something for you to grasp. You know, as Sister White says, that we need to wax stronger and bolder. Have you read Spirit Proclamation? You will wax stronger and bolder. You'll find it in the book of Patriarchs and Prophets. So when you leave this place, you must be able to say to yourself, that not our hearts burn within ourselves as we listen. You must be able to say. So in as much as you have come thus far, your personal walk with God is your ultimate dream. Right? Your personal, each one of us have a whole personal walk with God. That is your ultimate dream. Right? Now your personal journey with God is the only journey that will keep you in survival mode. And you see where I'm coming across now? Your personal journey with God is the only journey that will keep you in a survival mode. How many of that of the survival mode? You never heard of it. What is keeping you also? What is making you to survive now? Who is your strength? Psalm 46. God is our refuge and our strength. So where do we get our strength from? God is our strength, right? And you can meet God in many avenues, right? When you look at the Bible, I want you, as you are sitting and listening, to just scan the Bible. So when you meet God, how many of you have met God on the Red Sea? You know what I'm talking about? And you have a picture in your mind how God has opened a passage to the sea, and you are in the passage. That's a Red Sea experience. Now, if you look around you, which other God in the world has the power to open a passage to the sea? From your knowledge, nobody will know. Which other one? There's no other one. Only the God of Israel. Right? Only the God of Israel. And what did Israel do? They walk in the midst of the sea. Right? So, when you come in contact with people, let the people know that you serve a God who can part our us. Amen. Right? Let the people know that Israel walked on dry ground. Right? Let the people know. If it's your desire to meet God on the Red Sea, then you have a testimony to the outside world. The Red Sea can be a Red Sea, literally, and the Red Sea can be a symbolic Red Sea experience. You know what I'm talking about? You may be going to a very difficult patch. That may be your Red Sea. Right? If God had parted the waters in that experience, you have a testimony. You have a testimony. Right? So let the people know that who you come in contact with, there is a God who can part the waters. Right? And if it is your desire to meet God on the Red Sea, then your testimony to the outside world is proof that there is a God who has the power to hold back the raging sea. Right? So you have a testimony. Right? You have a testimony. If your experience with God is in the midst of a Red Sea, then your experience must be bold enough to let the world know that the God of Israel has the power to separate the waters in the sea. Right? When you go out there, you have a testimony. But don't let the current events which are taking place in the world to remove your vision. You know what I mean? Right. Now, when you go to social media, you know what you're looking at. When you look at the news, you know what you're looking at. Here it says, don't let the current events which are taking place around the globe remove your vision from the miracles of the past. Right? Because the God of the past is also God of the present. Right? And the God of the present is God of the future. Right? And if you have not found God on the Red Sea, maybe you will find him on the road to Damascus. Right? You know who found God on the road to Damascus? You know, right? So if you haven't found God on the Red Sea, maybe you will find him on the road to Damascus. So let the world around you or the people around you know that you have found God on this road where the light of heaven has shone upon you. Right? Has shone upon you, and you have come face to face with God. And now you are following the footsteps of God. If you have had a Damascus experience, you are walking on this road, and the light of God has come upon you, you have a testimony. You see, you can meet God on the Red Sea and have a Red Sea experience. You can meet God on the road to Damascus and have a Damascus experience. So, wherever they are, remember that. So, let the world around you know that we have found God on this road, where the light of heaven has shone, and now you are no longer a persecutor. How many of us were persecuted before we came to know God? You are against the God of Israel. But since you have now found God on the road to Damascus, you are now following in his footsteps. So tell the people around you that you are doing some evil, and a light from heaven had come, saying, with a voice saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. So you have a Damascus experience. If you haven't had a Red Sea experience, maybe you have a Damascus experience. So you meet God on different avenues, right? So you have a testimony. And if you have found God in any of these avenues, and if you couldn't find God on the Red Sea, or if you couldn't find God on the road to Damascus, maybe you'll find God on Mount Carmel. Right? You'll have a Mount Carmel experience. Right? So let the people around there know that you are standing next to the altar of Jehovah. Right? How many of you heard of people worshipping the sun? You heard of people worshipping the sun? How many of you heard of false prophets? So let the people around there know that you are standing on the altar of Jehovah, that you are not aligned yourself to sun worship. So let the people around there who are looking at you, do you know when you are coming to church, how many people are looking at you? Did you know that? When you are carrying a Bible, the people are watching you. Am I right? So when the people are looking at you, you must let them know that all their sacrifices are false. Right? The Bible makes it very clear. There is only one true God who rules Israel and rules supreme. Right? Now remember, when you look at other sacrifices, there is no other God who can consume the sacrifices. Remember in Mount Carmel what happened? So let the people around you know that when you are waking up in the morning, you are not looking at the sun. Right? You are not looking at it. Nor are you facing any idols. Right? But your God that dwelleth in the heavens, as the psalmist says, I lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help comes from whom? The Lord which made the heavens and the earth. So let the people know that you have met God on the altar of sacrifice. Right? When God revealed himself, there is only one sacrifice, which was the ultimate sacrifice. Right? He was the ultimate sacrifice. Other than that, like the hymn says, all other sand is sinking sand. Right? All other sand is sinking sand. When you came into the sanctuary this morning, you came with little, am I right? Or you came with nothing, right? But when you leave, there will be something for you to think. Right? As long as you know within yourself, the God who parted the waters is the very same God, I have confidence. Right? So let my experience with God be a testimony to the outside world. Even if I have met him, if I've met God on the road to Damascus, we have had a testimony to the outside world. So let's look at the avenues where we are meeting God. If you have met God on the Red Sea, we have a testimony to tell the world we have a Red Sea experience. If you have met God on Mount Carmel, we have a Mount Carmel experience. If you have met God on the road to Damascus, we have a Damascus experience. Now, there are other avenues. If you have met God on the road to Emmaus, we have a road to Emmaus experience. What did the disciples say as they walked with Jesus? What did they say? If not our hearts burn within us, right? So you have a testimony. Yes. Now, when you walk through the door, you knew within yourself, and you say to yourself, there's a place for me in the sanctuary. Right? You know the hymn says, constantly abiding, Jesus is mine. So when you walk into the sanctuary, always remember there is a place for you in the sanctuary. Right? I came to drink from the fountain, so when I leave, I have the assurance that whatever happens in my life, so whatever happens in my life, let my life be in Christ. Let my life be in Christ. I must tell the people that the God of Israel, who led Israel out of wilderness, has safely brought me into his pastures. Right? You are very privileged to be here. Not many people are privileged to sit like how you are sitting here. They don't have this privilege. You are very privileged. So we need to give God all the praise. Because we are very privileged. There's no persecution. We are not intimidated. We have the freedom. We have the freedom. We have a God who can call anytime. There's no restriction. So we are very privileged. Very privileged. In as much as God privileged Israel, He has privileged us. Yeah, He has privileged us. So God has actually called us from outside and brought us there to His past is there, so that we will have the newness of life within us. Remember what the Bible says? If any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. All things have become new. So even when my life was like scarlet, people looked down on my condition. And even when my purse was empty and my cup was dry, I knew within myself, if God had clothed Israel and provided for Israel, I am now serving the God of Israel. You see, and He will surely deliver us from the hands of the fowler. Remember? Psalm 91. Therefore, I am now convinced that my God will always be my God. Right? My God will always be my God. And within myself, I am persuaded that neither death, nor angels, nor principalities will be able to separate me from this one God. Right? That's the reason I keep my eyes that's the reason I keep my eyes always on the person who can see through me and work through me. Right? In all circumstances, your life over here is a testimony. You are sitting here, you are a testimony to the outside world. Right? Today I have sufficient evidence among all classes around this globe that you have been chosen to be part of God's kingdom. You see how God works? Now, therefore, among the kings of all this world, when you go into the actual global picture, out of all the kings of this world, there is none greater than the King of Kings. Am I right? There is none greater than the King of Kings. So truly I say unto you, unless you abide in the vine, then you will know that I was beside you when things started to fall apart, because in me you will find a hiding place. Right? And you will have a safe haven. So let my life be a testimony to everyone I come in contact with. Whoever you come in contact with, you are a testimony. Right? Let my help come, because my help comes from the God. And every step I take, whether I am down right in the valley or up in the mountains, I have the assurance that the God who stood by me through the worst of storms. How many of us have been there? Many of us have been there, right? Right? To the worst of storms. And through it all, I've learned to trust Him. And I've learned to depend upon Him. Right? That's the reason I worship in whom I know, and I'm convinced that when I step out of this place, there is something. Right? The Bible says in the Psalms, we will not slip or slide, because our journey with God is such a beautiful journey that God has actually delivered us out of the mighty clay. Am I right? And if He gave me a second chance, then will I continue to serve Him and labor in His vineyard. And since this world has nothing to offer, let me live. There is something for me to take home today, something for me to meditate, something to make me confident. So when I'm out there, I have a message for those who are looking for paradise. You'll have families, you'll have friends. How many of them out there looking for a better life? You are a testimony to them to show that there is a better life and a better future for them. But you are the testimony, right? As we have been to the lesson, Let them know that how God has preserved you. Do you know that God has preserved you from the start of COVID? You are still here. So it's sufficient evidence that God has preserved you. Yeah? It's sufficient evidence. How many of them have passed on? You are still here. So it's evidence enough that God has preserved you. You see, how God preserved Israel in Israel's time was God preserved them a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Today, He preserves us the same way. Same God. In this world, you will lose a lot. Right? You will lose, but when you have God, you have a lot. Right? In this world, you lose a lot. Having God is more than having fortune or status. Am I right? Having God is more than having fortune or status. Even the diamonds of this world will not give us the peace of mind. Will not give us the peace. Because God alone has the power to read the intentions of the mind. Right? So whether you are deep in the caves, remember the psalmist? Whether you are deep in the caves or beneath the seabed. How many of you have been there, deep in the caves or beneath the seabed? How many of you have been there? Right? Or how many of you have been hiding in ships? Or read the Psalms, hiding in ships. God knows all the intentions of the heart. So whether you are in the deepest of the caves or beneath the seabed or in the ships, God is still there. Right? So as you look outside the world, remember, when you look outside the world, when you step out of the sanctuary, you'll see many gods. Many gods. People are serving many gods. People are worshipping many gods. But only one God has the power to be here. Only one God has the power to be here and to deliver. So this morning, as you reflect on your walk with God, think of the time that God stood by you. Right? Bible says, even when my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will lift me up. Right? So the world currently is plagued with a pandemic. Currently plagued with a pandemic. And many lives are lost. But if I am here today, consider it as the hand of God. Right? The same hand that led Israel is the same hand that did it. Right? In my personal walk with God over the years, I realized that this journey with God is a journey to life. If you really want to experience life, have a journey with God. With all the obstacles and setbacks, only God can give you satisfaction. Only God can give you satisfaction in life. And through my personal experiences, I've learned to make God's work priority. Right? It is only when you take God seriously, you'll see the power of God manifest in your life. Even if it means coming into the sanctuary just to open the window, you haven't did it for anybody, you have did it for the gospel. And anything that is been done for the gospel, there's a great record in heaven. Even if it means just to sweep or to come and set chairs, you have did it for the gospel. And God is a rewarder to them that diligently seeks you. So, my message for you today, your personal walk with God will keep you in a survival mode. And may God bless you, and thank you for allowing me to come and bless you. Amen.